In the sleepy little town of Harmony Creek, nestled between rolling green hills and a babbling brook, there was a bakery that wasn't quite like the others. It was called the Daily Rise, and its owner, a kind, rosy-cheeked woman named Clara, had a secret. Her donuts weren't just delicious, they were magical. It all started on a particularly gloomy Tuesday. A thick, gray fog had swallowed the town, and a melancholic drizzle seemed to seep into everyone's bones. The bell above Clara's shop door chimed, but it sounded tired, less a jingle and more a sigh. In walked Leo, the town's librarian, his shoulders slumped and his glasses fought. "Just a plain glazed, Clara," he mumbled, his voice as gray as the weather. Clara looked at Leo, a man who usually had a quote for every occasion, now looking utterly deflated. She felt a pang of sympathy. As she reached for a classic glazed donut, a strange impulse took over. She closed her eyes for a moment and thought, "I wish he could find a little spark of inspiration today." A tiny, almost invisible shimmer of golden light seemed to dance over the donut before she placed it in a paper bag. Leo took the donut and shuffled back out into the mist. He sat on a bench in the town square, unwrapped the treat, and took a bite. Suddenly, the fog in his mind seemed to lift. An idea for a children's story, a tale about a brave little raindrop, popped into his head, fully formed and sparkling with detail. He pulled out a crumpled napkin and a pen and began to write, a smile spreading across his face for the first time all day. Back at the bakery, Clara felt a warmth spread through her chest. She hadn't known what to expect, but seeing Leo scribbling away with such fervor, she realized something extraordinary had just happened. She looked at her racks of cooling donuts, the chocolate frosted, the sprinkle covered, the jelly filled, and wondered. The next day, Mrs. Gable, a sweet elderly woman who was always worried about her prized petunias, came in. "Oh, Clara," she fretted, "the forecast says no rain for a week. My poor flowers will be so thirsty." This time, Clara was ready. She picked up a blueberry-filled donut, its plumpness reminding her of a heavy rain cloud. May her garden get just the right amount of water, she wished silently, focusing all her hopeful energy on the pastry. Mrs. Gable thanked her and went on her way. That afternoon, a single, fluffy cloud drifted directly over Mrs. Gable's house and released a gentle, nourishing shower, soaking her petunias and nothing else. Word began to spread, not of magic, but of the uncanny good fortune that seemed to follow a visit to the Daily Rise. The town's grumpy handyman, Gus, who was always complaining about losing his tools, bought a cinnamon twist. The next day, he found his favorite wrench, which had been missing for 6 months, sitting right on his workbench as if it had never left. A young artist named Maya, struggling with creative block, ate a raspberry jelly donut and spent the next 3 days painting her masterpiece, a vibrant sunset over Harmony Creek. Clara's bakery became the heart of the town. People didn't come in asking for magic. They just came in with their worries, their hopes, and their simple, everyday problems. And Clara, with a kind heart and a silent wish, would choose just the right donut. A vanilla cream for someone needing a bit of comfort. A rainbow sprinkle for a child needing a boost of confidence for their school play. A strong coffee glazed for a student cramming for exams. She never spoke of her ability. To her, it wasn't about power or spectacle. It was about connection. It was about pouring a little bit of love and hope into her baking and sending it out into the world. The magic wasn't in the sugar or the flour. It was in the intention. One morning, a stranger came to town. He was a slick businessman in a sharp suit, his car far too fancy for Harmony Creek's quiet streets. He marched into the Daily Rise, looked around with a dismissive air, and announced, "I'm here to buy this property. I'm going to tear it down and build a mega mart." A hush fell over the bakery. regulars, enjoying their morning treats, looked up in alarm. Clara's heart sank. She loved her little shop more than anything. The businessman, Mr. Sterling, scoffed. What's so special about a dusty old donut shop anyway? Before Clara could answer, Leo the librarian stood up. This bakery gave me my voice back, he said, holding up a published copy of his book, The Brave Little Raindrop. Mrs. Doc Gable chimed in, her voice trembling but firm. This bakery saved my garden. It brings joy to this town. One by one, the townspeople shared their stories. They spoke of found tools, aced tests, reconciled friendships, and bursts of inspiration. They didn't mention magic, but they spoke of the undeniable good that flowed from Clara's shop. Mert Sterling looked bewildered. It's just donuts, he insisted, though his voice lacked its earlier conviction. Clara smiled gently. She walked behind the counter, her hands moving with familiar grace. She selected a simple, warm, unglazed donut, fresh from the fryer. It wasn't for a specific wish. This one was different. She held it out to Murdoch Sterling. Please, she said softly. Just try one. On the house. He hesitated, looking from the simple pastry to the expectant faces of the townspeople. With a sigh, he took the donut. He was about to make a sarcastic comment, but the warmth of it surprised him. He took a bite. A forgotten memory washed over him. He was a little boy again, sitting in his grandmother's kitchen, the smell of fresh baking in the air. He remembered her gentle hands showing him how to knead dough, the flour dusting his nose. He remembered the pure, simple joy of sharing something warm and homemade with someone he loved. It was a feeling he hadn't felt in decades, a feeling buried under years of ambition and bottom lines. A single tear traced a path down his cheek. He looked at the half-eaten donut in his hand, then at Clara. The hard, polished exterior he wore seemed to crack. My grandmother, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. She used to make these. He didn't buy the bakery. Instead, he stayed in Harmony Creek for a week, and every morning he'd come to the Daily Rise, sit at a small table by the window, and eat a simple, unglazed donut. He talked with the locals, listened to their stories, and for the first time in a long time, he just was. When he finally left, he was a different man. He told Clara he was going to open a small community kitchen in his own city in honor of his grandmother. Clara continued to bake her magical donuts, her secret safe within the warm, fragrant walls of the Daily Rise. The people of Harmony Creek never knew the full extent of the magic they were tasting, but they didn't need to. They knew that a trip to Clara's bakery could make a gray day a little brighter, a heavy heart a little lighter, and a simple donut a whole lot sweeter. And sometimes, that's all the magic you really need. So if you ever find yourself passing through a small, quiet town and you smell the irresistible scent of fresh donuts, maybe stop in. You never know what kind of magic is waiting for you inside a simple ring of dough. Thanks for listening to my story today. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and subscribe for more tales from the bright side of life. See you next time.